In the market town of Bourne, Lincolnshire, something amazing is happening. A charity trust is ensuring that despite the recent string of local authority spending cuts, churches, schools and leisure centres are remaining firmly open. Len Pick was one of the town's most prominent figures, donating large sums of money to local causes in Bourne. Before Len passed away in 2004, he left instruction for a large part of his estate to be used to set up a locally run charity trust fund to be used to help the people of Bourne. In his honour, it was named the Len Pick Trust.
So the trust started when the benefactor, Len Pick, left the bulk of his estate for the benefit of the townspeople of Bourne. That was back in 2004, and that resulted in the creation of the trust. Now, the trust is now managed by 10 volunteer residents of the town, and the trust consists of around about £5 million of assets, including land. And the role of the trustees is to provide stewardship for that fund, and also to then distribute the income from that fund for the benefit of the town.
One such cause that has received a grant from the Len Pick Trust is the Butterfield Daycare Centre. This beautiful old building offers daycare 5 days a week for citizens of Bourne.
Well, the daycare centre has been established for many years, and I hesitate to find or to think about how long it's been. Do you know how long it's been done? No, you don't. Anyway, for many years. It's a very old established building. It's been here for over 100 years, because in the First World War it was a hospital. Anyway, it was decided before my time that there was a need in Bourne for a daycare centre to entertain and care for, if you like, on a daily basis, 5 days a week, for elderly residents in the Bourne area.
But keeping an old building like this running can be costly.
We've managed so far to, as I said earlier, as far as general things are concerned, which is within our financial competence, we don't have any problems. We might have to knock a bit off here and knock a bit off there, but we get through. But there are times in life, as you well know, and we all know personally, that suddenly some expenses come up that we didn't anticipate, and we look round because we can't afford to meet the bills, if you like. We can't afford to meet them, and we have to look outside and see, is there anywhere else that we can go to, any other authority or other charity or other whatever it is, that would be sympathetic, if I can put it that way, to our plight and help us out. And the Len Pick Trust, in that sense, has been absolutely magnificent. They really have, you know.
From 2005 to 2013, the Len Pick Trust awarded over £28,000 to the Butterfield Daycare Centre, allowing them to complete some much-needed repairs, such as having a new boiler installed and a new oven and other kitchen improvements.
So we have, in fact, been very, very blessed, if I can put it that way, over recent years, by the help we've been given by the Len Pick Trust. They've been absolutely magnificent in helping us out in costs of particularly central heating system and our minibus repairs and other factors. And I said, my own view is that if we hadn't had that assistance from the Len Pick Trust, we'd be in a very dire straits at the moment in that particular respect. They've been absolutely magnificent.
Mary is the chair of the much-loved Darby and Joan Club. With over 100 people regularly using the club, it's important to the local community that it remains open.
Our club's roof was in need of repair, and in 2009 it was in a very poor state. So we applied to the Len Pick Trust to see if we could have any help from there. They granted us £20,000 towards the total cost, and this enabled us to get our new roof leak-free.
With the new roof fitted, the Derby and Joan Club continues to be the go-to place for residents of Bourne to gather for a spot of cards and social interaction.
If we hadn't have had the help of the Len Pick Trust, we would have had to close the club until we'd raised enough money. And as we hadn't got that much, it would have closed until such times as we could raise or find the money.
The Len Pick Trust strives to help a wide variety of local causes in Bourne, including all the local schools. An example of this is Bourne Abbey Church of England Primary Academy.
Bourne Abbey Church of England Primary Academy, or we're known as Bourne Abbey within the town of Bourne, is a very special school because it's been here nearly 150 years. It's a very well established, very well loved school, and it was the first primary school obviously within the town.
From 2011 to 2014, the Len Pick Trust awarded £30,000 to Abbey academies to provide, amongst other things, a new learning resource centre to house a library, IT suite and music area.
The Len Pick Trust has been there to support us with particular projects. So we're actually sitting at the moment in a beautiful learning resource suite. So we're able to have a library area. Our children are able to come and do further research. We have children who stay for after-school projects, being able to do their homework. Well, we also use it for our music tuition. Because again, as I said to you, finding spaces within your school. So we've actually set up one corner of the room, as you can see. So we have a superb keyboard. Again, that was funded by the Trust. So our peripatetic teachers actually come in here and they take groups of pupils or individuals for particular lessons. So again, this room is so multi-purpose. It is just amazing for our school. And we wouldn't have had the funds to do that without Len Pick. And I think the same goes for other schools in Bourne. They've helped with those bigger projects.
But as well as the more usual school improvements, the Len Pick Trust are keen to help lend a hand in less obvious ways.
They help with curriculum. So for example, the Len Pick Trust works with other organisations in Bourne. So we suddenly found ourselves with fantastic bird boxes, hedgehog boxes, lots of things for our environmental area. Every year they have a Len Pick Trust memorial evening, and they invite top quality speakers, high calibre speakers. And if it's appropriate, then in schools we get the chance to have those people visiting our schools to talk to our children. So we recently had Tessa Sanderson, and she was tremendously inspirational. Our pupils, you could tell from the letters that they wrote to her afterwards, and every single child, as they led out of assemblies, were able to touch those gold medals. And believe you me, that is inspirational for young people.
Serving the local community is something the Len Pick Trust really values. So helping the local outdoor pool to stay in full working order was something the Trust jumped at.
Well, Bourne Swimming Pool's been here for many years. It's a major part of the sporting activities within the town. It's an absolutely amazing place, and when the sun shines, the place is so full of children. We try to keep it as family orientated as we can, with the no smoking. We have the fun play areas, we have fun nights for the children, and it's absolutely amazing on a bright sunny day, to see the people down there, and it makes all the work that is involved very, very worthwhile. We like to think of ourselves as Bourne's hidden gem, right at the back of the Abbey lawns.
But tighter and tighter health and safety guidelines mean that the pool was in danger of being closed down.
Well, when I took over the pool, Health and Safety used to visit us every year, and they would have discussions with myself, the plant room operator and the 2 senior lifeguards. And it was quite obvious that right from the start that we needed to bring the pool back up into the 21st century, and that we found there was quite a considerable amount of jobs that needed doing. We needed to look at the toilet facilities in the old outdoor changing rooms. We knew that our first aid facilities weren't up to standard, and we had nothing in line with the Disability Act. So it was a matter of this is what we had to look at to keep the pool open.
From 2005 to 2014, the Len Pick Trust splashed out over £20,000 for essential modernisation and maintenance work. A new disabled toilet block and first aid facility, amongst other things, were built.
Without the money that Len Pick left us and the invaluable work that Len Pick Trust is doing in the town, I don't honestly think Bourne Outdoor Swimming Pool would still be there. Because with the small donations we get from other local charities, which have been fantastic, it wouldn't be enough to keep that pool in the absolutely fantastic condition it's in. I can't thank them enough.
Bourne United Reformed Church has served the local community for over 150 years. As well as its loyal congregation, it's used by local groups and charities.
Bourne United Reformed Church, formerly the Congregational Church, has been going since 1846 in Bourne. It's always been the centre of the community around here. Churches together in Bourne were looking to start a food bank. We had the premises and the rooms, so we naturally said, would you like to use our church hall as a food bank? And they said yes. And everything was going swimmingly until the heating, there was something seriously wrong with the heating.
The boiler failed beyond repair. With no heating system in the church, the food bank and other groups would be forced to move out and look elsewhere.
We applied to the Len Pick Trust. And we didn't know how they'd react, whether they would give a grant to a church, say, and I don't know whether to help 20 people, that's not an adequate thing, but as it is used by the community and loved by the community, they very generously gave us a grant. So we were absolutely thrilled. We put a bit to it, but they really were fantastically generous. And furthermore, you just don't apply for a grant to them. They actually help you.
The Len Pick Trust awarded over £11,000 for the installation of a new boiler. But the Len Pick Trust doesn't simply hand out money. Following the project through to completion, the Len Pick Trust was able to ensure that the correct boiler for the size of the building was used, and the installation was carried out to the highest standard.
Without the help of the Len Pick Trust, I don't know where we'd be. And without their advice, which is as valuable as the money, well, I don't think we'd be sitting here today. We're great believers in the Lord will provide, and the Lord has provided us with the Len Pick Trust.
As well as awarding grants, the Len Pick Trust also links up with other good causes in Bourne, using their contacts and support networks to lend a hand wherever possible. The staff at the Carlsberg depot in Bourne raised money throughout the year to buy food. At the end of the year, all the food is collected and the Len Pick Trust then help with the distribution, ensuring the food goes to the people who need it the most.
This table of food is basically what Carlsberg at Bourne now. Every year we raise enough money during the year to fund buying all this from the local shops, and also the guys in the depot, they bring stuff in from the cupboards that to donate for the neediest people around Bourne. Raising as much money during the year, various little events, silly little things, but the 20-30 quid here all raises to an amount we can go and buy these foods for the community.
Each year the food collection grows in size. As you can see, this year it's quite an impressive display. Another example of the diverse nature of the Len Pick Trust is Bourne's Owl Tower.
The Owl Tower was actually a trust initiative. We had some old barn buildings which were condemned, and we used the materials, we salvaged the materials. We got the local college students to build the tower. It's now an amenity for the town.
Getting different groups from within Bourne to work together, they have created something from nothing for the good of the town. And the owls are happy too. So, what does the future hold for the Len Pick Trust?
For the future of the Trust, it's really important that we preserve the fund and we continue to grow that. So we've consistently managed to grow the fund, and we've consistently managed to deliver increased amounts of grant expenditure for the benefit of the town.
Since the Trust was formed, it has awarded £650,000 to a significant number of diverse charitable and voluntary organisations in Bourne. The Len Pick Trust has secured Len's legacy forever. So it's only fitting that we let the man himself have the final say.
Well, I thought it was as good as it was. I have improvised a bit.
Uh-huh.
Yes.